orbital is a sum of lot of linearly independent functions which you have called atomic orbitals. But the problem is that I have many molecular orbitals depending on which atom or which molecule or which crystal we were studying. So what do? So this is only one molecular orbital. So excuse me, definitely I need another index called K. How many K? So as many molecular orbitals you can get. So K is equal to 1 to n. As many sums you have, that many molecular orbitals can be generated. So this is your molecular orbital. Molecular orbital 1, molecular orbital 2, molecular orbital 3, etc., up to nth molecular orbital. Right? Now understand what is going on here. You cannot simply have that expression, because what is wrong with this expression? There is something very funny about this expression, you know. What is that? You have just, even if you do not understand anything, if you simply translate F1, suppose I just keep it. Let us see what is going on. So I said that C1, F1, plus C2, F2, plus C3, F3. This is what you said. You said that psi I is equal to Ci Fi. Of course, then you realize that no, I cannot be both sides. That is wrong. So you said that okay, I make it K. Both I go from 1 to 10. K also go from 1 to also goes from 1 to n. Let us see if that is all right. So this is your molecular orbital 1, say lowest state. I now write F2. You said that K goes from 1 to n. I goes from 1 to n. That's all right. Okay. So let us see what is happening. C1, F1, C2, F2, C3, F3. I'll write another expression. F3 is equal to C1, F1, C2, F2, plus C3, F3. Is this expression funny or not? Surabhi, is this funny or not? Does anybody see the problem in this description? Who can say this? So these F1, F2, F3 are the your trial are your approximate functions or eigenstates. So molecular orbitals are nothing but these eigenstates. Right? So these eigenstates are approximate solutions to the exact eigenstate, which is psi I. So your Fi's are, sorry, Fk, we have said, Fk set is actually approximation to the real state, which is psi k. That's all it is. Similarly, your Ei or Ek for each of them should be found out from the W's. But if I just want to understand this little expression, when you speak about atomic orbital or molecular orbital, you become very careless, you become very casual. You give an impression as if it is just very obvious. We are just trying to tell you that it is not so obvious. Let us understand that. Of course, it is obvious once you understand. So, see this, why this expression is not sufficient. What is the problem? Is it okay? इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ है. क्या गड़बड़ है बोलो? All the molecular orbitals have the same expansion. That's fantastic. You see that there is no difference between F1, F2, F3. चलो पहले तो F1, F2 as, so you see the problem. You have written F1, you have written F1. So that kind of problems. First of all, that is difficult, right? Even if you say that okay, I will give say FK1 or something like this to under. So let us go. I mean, so what you say is that, so even if you say that, okay, these F1s are different from these F1s, obviously they have to be different. But the biggest problem is that even if you say that, okay, these F1s are not, suppose I do not write F, I write G1, okay, G1, G2, G3. अब तुम बोलोगे चलो F1 मेरा चला गया. It is okay, I can do that. But even then, there is a bigger problem. So if I replace by F, so let us make that clear. So this, let us keep F, but this side we should give G. ठीक है? no, we have written this expression in terms of F. So we write F. So let us call this G. Abhi theek ho gaya, GK. Right? So G1, G2 is 1. But the biggest problem is what Adrija says. There is no difference between the molecular orbitals. They are all the same. Right? Is it clear to everybody? This is the most important concept you should understand. Madhur, is that clear? So how do I solve this problem? You understand this difference which you did not understand. So that is why I need to bring, so that is why your concepts will be clear. What is your concept? You have only coefficient and function, coefficient and function, coefficient and function, coefficient and function. So now I automatically ask this question, what is going to be different for every molecular orbital? One molecular orbital to another molecular orbital. What should be different? It is the coefficient or it is the atomic orbital? Can you tell me from your picture that CH4 molecule, तुम लोग सब molecular orbital theory का expert हो, मुझे मालूम है काफी सारे, I am talking to chemistry students, God knows how many molecular orbital theory lectures you have taken. So just tell me now, how many, which one is going to be different? The coefficients or atomic orbitals? The coefficients, very good. So that means for each molecular orbital, my coefficients, my molecular atomic orbitals are going to remain same. So every molecular orbital is constructed from the same set of atomic orbitals. So what is the difference? The difference will be, as all of you have written, coefficients. So that means I need to invent some index over here which will be different for each molecular orbital. Samjhe? So I want to give something called C11, C21, C31 to denote molecular orbital 1. Then I want to give this guy a C12, C22, C32 for the second molecular orbital. Then I want to give an index 3 over here, 3, 3. You understand? So that is the reason I need to invent another index. Whether I will give it here or there, that is also a big question. You know, where should I give? Now that we have understood that GK, a CK under दो index होना चाहिए. That much I have just explained to you. But I should be fine. Now the question is that whether I should put I over here, K over here, or here. That question also has to be understood. So can somebody tell me where is the K kept in your books? The other one doesn't make any sense. So if you can say that CIK or CK doesn't make, that is absolutely nonsense. It can only be in one place. Where is it kept? Hello? कहाँ पे होना है? So you cannot make a guess of this. If you did not know, you did not know. So we will find out where it should be. We'll give it its correct place. That is why I am explaining this to you. Right? So now that we have explained this detour, we made this detour. Now you tell me the anatomy of these four numbers, four quantities, HIK, SIK, W, and CK. Remember, we started from here. Abhi yahan pe aao. What is happening here? So HIK is my F, right? This expression needs to be corrected. We'll do that. So HIK is what is written there, right? Remember, what is IK? I is one basis function, K is another basis function, Fi and Fk. SIK, so in these expressions, out of these four, what is my input and what is my output? Who wants to answer that question? Everybody should write it. I don't want to answer this question or move further unless you understand this. What is your input? What is your output? So Malika, don't be so cryptic, okay? Please make it little bit clear, okay? What is my input and what is my output? I'm waiting for an answer. Input is HIK and SIK. Very good. Input is HIK and SIK. Definitely, you see, look at this. HIK is this. Your Fi and Fk are known functions. You have expanded the molecular orbital in terms of known atomic orbitals. Input is H and S, output will be W and C. Very good. Now let us see how is it done. So these are known functions. These are known quantities. Similarly, these are known quantities. Now that we have understood input, let us see what is the output coming like. How is the output coming? That is what we just want to explain. Okay. So what is the output? यहाँ पे actually कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं है. The way we have done it, because this is not really the LCMO principle that we are doing. Your book was working for a different purpose. Generally, it is written little bit differently, but there is lot of similarity. There is no problem with this. But only thing is that in a little bit different way. That's what we are going to show you. So what is happening is that, let me see. Yes. So now that these two guys are known, okay. So now why there is no index on W? Why there is no index on how many W's we should get? Suppose, so is this expression for whom? Can you tell me? Each of these I there are only two index, I and K, right? So who is referring to your atomic orbital? Who is referring to your molecular orbital? Who can answer this? Who is referring to your atomic orbital? Who is referring to your molecular orbital? K is atomic orbital, I is molecular orbital. Very good, that is correct. So your K is actually the atomic orbitals, right? Which go from 1 to N, right? And I goes from 1 to N2. What is not said here is that, you see, instead of we have just discovered that there has to be two index on C. But this expression doesn't have two index. It has only one index. Why? Because it asks you to understand, that's why it is written for each I. You solve this for each I. Generally in your book, there will be another index, you will see that, and nothing will be mentioned in the IJK. It is understood. That is how it is written. But in this expression, it is understood that you will do this whole operation for each I. For a given I, तुमको ये करना पड़ेगा. For a given I, so for I1, you have to write this expression. If you do that, what you will get? Your I is 1, right? So your K goes, so let us just write one expression. 1 minus S I 1, okay, W, plus H12 minus S12 W, right, plus H13 minus S13 W, right? I'm just writing the coefficients, right? Just a thing other than the coefficients, right? And similarly, so you can actually know that this determinant has to vanish, right? So for each I, if I do that, what will get? How many values of W I expect? तुम्हारा कितना W मिलेगा? W is the correct. W is the orbital energies. Which orbital energies? Atomic orbital or molecular orbital? This question should be just like this, in the 4th year class, after you have gone through so much of. Who can answer? These W's are for atomic orbital energies or molecular orbital energies? Everybody should write the answer. Somili. So that means there is some confusion, it seems. M. More people, more. What about others? Baki sab log ho, Sitabrod, you are there? Okay. So this is definitely molecular orbital. There is absolutely no confusion. This is not atomic orbital energies. Rohan, I am sorry. Please understand carefully. So what it means, but there is no on W. You see that? What it means? You will get how many values of W? How many values of W in the number of index? I, K or N? How many values of N values? That's right. So you will get, after solving this determinant, that's a little thing that you have done in your high school mathematics. So I'm not going to repeat that. So you are going to get W, the N values of W. W is the correct approximation to energy of this. So that means, suppose you got W1, right? Now what is, so you said W can take values W1, W2 up to WK. Sorry, that is WN. Okay, yes, this is settled. Let us see now. What does W1 mean? What is the meaning of W1? तुम लोग जवाब नहीं दे रहे हो. कोई तो जवाब दो. मधुर. ओ, उसको तो माइक ही ऑफ हो रहता है. ठीक है. अद्रिजक, would you like to answer?
Yeah, sir. W1 is the energy of the lowest molecular orbital.
Very good. So now that you have gotten, after solving this, you got W1, right?
Yeah.
Right? You can find W1, W2 up to WK, WN, sorry. So W1, let us suppose W1. So what is W1 here? E1, E2 up to En. So W1 is your approximate energy corresponding to E1, which is the true energy. You understand? W1, W2 should be all upper bounds of their corresponding energies. That is what is the variational principle said. I did not say it for excited state. You can read it, but there is also corresponding excited state variational principle, right? That means each of these approximate energies should be upper bounds to the true energies.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so W1 is now done. Now what is my job? What is my next job to be done in this equation? So you got a W1. HIK हो गया, तुम्हारा SIK हो गया, right? So where is my molecular orbital? How do I get the molecular orbital? That is the final question, right? You want to do everything with the molecular orbital. So how do I get molecular orbital? What do I have to do? Now you tell me. Adrija, what do I have to do? Bolo, bolo. Whoever can say, please write. These things should be absolutely.
So now we'll have to minimize W, like dW by dC. We used to do that.
W को क्या minimize करोगे? W you have already gotten a number, right? Remember this, after solution you will get some values for energy, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean by minimization? Minimization we have already done, made
Yeah,
0.
sorry. Yeah.
E1 is less than equal to W1. वो तो हो चुका है. Now the question is that energy is not everything in your life. You have to find the molecular orbital. Otherwise, you will never get your spectroscopy beautiful, smooth, all kinds of surfaces, you know, that you are showing in various spectroscopy. Nothing happens without molecular orbital. Right? All the beautiful pictures that you are accustomed to see these days, SEM, FTM, right? So, where do I get them? Somebody take a trial function. No, that यही confusion दूर करने के लिए मैं इतना time लगा रहा हूं. ये सब बकवास है. Right? So somebody, Abhilip sir said something, right? Linear equation and solve them. Can you please elaborate, Abhilip sir? Can you please elaborate a little bit?
So we can write the linear equation from that HIK minus SIKWCK equal to 0. We can take different.
That taken as input. ये तो हो चुका है.
Yeah,
we have found out even W's. W1 हो गया, W2. Then what? How do I just get the molecular orbital?
So we'll put different values of i's in it and write the linear equations like H11 minus S11W into C1 plus H12 minus S12W into C2, and another equation for I equal to 2. And
I already did that. I just did not write the expectation because without doing that, I could not have solved the determinant W, right? I have already taken the determinant and I did all this linear algebra basic business. Then only I got W and W2, right? Right?
yes,
I solved the linear equation, right? Isn't it? Your determinant has to be 0. You are saying that, right?
yes, sir.
तो W यहाँ से ही तो W का n रूट निकला, वही डिटर्मिनेंट को 0 करके ही तो W का n k रूट निकले, sorry, n root. I got all the energies. So that is fine, that is true. But then what is next? How do I get the molecular orbital? Because you have said that your all molecular orbital is a summation of the atomic orbitals, right? How do I get them? So that is what, okay. So what do I have to do is very simple. So for each of these W's, W1, so suppose take W1, you get all the values of coefficients. That is the only thing that one has to do, because everything is known in this expression. This is a known, it is an integral. These are the matrix elements. It's a known number. It's a known number. Is this number you got it after solution. What remains is only this. Again, you put for every single value of k this expression with same W. Remember, that is why there is no index on W. So for one W, you write all these equations for so many k's, right? So that means H11 minus S1, S of Karko, per H2, write in the determinant form, okay? So you write it for each k, okay? And 1W, for 1W, you write the whole set of equations. What you will get? You will get only quantity called Ck. That means Ck W1 for W1. That means you will get Ck index is C1, 1, C2, 1, C3, 1, C4, 1, up to Ck1. What is the meaning? If you had these equations, you got all these k coefficients. But this is for I is equal to 1. For each I, remember, for each I am doing this same. So this is your I index. This is your I is equal to 1. 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 And that, so that means this is my molecular orbital 1. You need k coefficients for the molecular orbital 1. You will multiply these guys by the function C1, F2, F3, F4, and Fk, which are known to you. And then you will add. That is the expression of your molecular orbital 1. And that will correspond to your approximate energy, which is W1. Right? If everything is all right, you will say that W1 is an upper bound to E1. What is next? Is that clear? Adrija, now it is clear? Surabhi?
Sir, yes, sir, it's clear.
It's clear? Now you tell me, how do I get the second molecular orbital? I
Uh,
have so many molecular orbitals.
yeah, for
How do I do?
for W2, we'll have to find another set of C1, C2, C3 till Ck, and we'll get the
So W2, what do I, can you please tell me in the same notation I have written?
C subscript 1 and superscript 2, F1.
Then, go ahead.
Yeah, C3 superscript 2, C4 2, Ck 2.
So, but your basis function is again same, which has to be, but your coefficients are different. Okay? So then you sum. So this is your molecular orbital 2, which will give you an energy W2, because you have worked out these coefficients for the second energy state. So this is your molecular orbital 2, which is higher in energy than the molecular orbital 1. Because you have assumed that molecular orbital is the lowest, first molecular orbital is the lowest, second is the upper that, above that, etc. in this order. Right? What will happen to my third? I'll write one more. So somebody please say. So I'll write 3 for that. Right? So I'll write here C1 3 F1 plus C2 3 F2 plus C3 3 F3 plus C4 3 F4 plus plus CK3 FK. So that is my molecular orbital 3, which will give me the energy W3. So this is these are my true energies. So E1, E2, sorry. Suppose 3 molecular orbitals are there. Okay. So E1, true molecular orbital energy, E3. And what should I go? If this is the correct energy, so what I should get from variational principle? Let us write it like this, little bit more. E1, E2. These are the true energies. Okay. That means that you can get actually solving the Schrodinger equation correctly. Now what you get is actually this. That means this is my W1, W2, W3. So W1 is an upper bound to E1. It can come closer here. So W1 is this, E2 is this, this. So that means I have just, my drawing is not good, but you understand that W1 can be only above this. W2 can be only above this. W3 can be only above this. That's how the system goes. There is no need to say that they are going to be energy, this difference, nothing. That kind of restriction is not there. If the picture gives you that kind of impression, that is just That is just artifact of the drawing. Okay, so this is the whole way you actually solve. So this is the universal prescription today. If you, as a physics student, if you use VASP, or as a chemistry student you use Gaussian, or some other, even if you do DFT, these everywhere this prescription is used. There is no way to bypass this. Okay. Okay. Is it clear to everybody? Or is there any confusion? So just the last, so now I come back to this expression. ये सब तो बोलने की बात है. I cannot write so many things in this world, right? So I need to. So now can you tell me where should I put my k? This is the end of the story. So where should I? Obviously, you see that this k doesn't have index because you have said that for each I. But now I want to k. I want to give this index here. Can you tell me I should give in the actually you may still not be. So what I mean to say is that instead of writing one here, it would be nice if I can just put it here, and that is what happens. If you open another book, you will actually see that. Okay? So that means these two, instead of giving here, I want to give it here. Okay, and these three. Up ठीक. So this is how it is actually done. So now you can see that it really nicely looks like a two-dimensional matrix. So your C coefficient matrix is a two-dimensional matrix. You see that? Because there are two index, right? So it is not just a row vector, or it just not just a column vector. Okay. So what happens is that ideally what happens, so you can just talk in terms of the C1, C11, C12, C13, C14, right? C21, C22, C23, C24, C31, C32, C33, C34. Okay, let us understand this way. C41, C42, C43, C44. इतना ही काफी है. So what happens is that generally the way you understand coefficient matrix is that this column is reserved for your first molecular orbital, right? So that means you can see that in practice ये जो अभी लिखा है ना, ये actually पूरा उल्टा होगा. That means it is not going to be C12. The way we have put the index to illustrate you, actually in practice because that is how it works. Then your these things will be, sorry, not this guy, C21, F2, sorry, C11, F1, C21, F2, C31, F3, C41, F4. Okay, right? This is 1, 2, this is 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. ना ये भी ठीक ही तो है actually. 4, 2 ठीक ही तो है. Okay, K2, C13. C23, C33, C43, C44. So what you see that the first column, so actually the equation that we will get, so this is just, there is one little extension of this method, nothing extension, just to understand the same notation in a written differently, little differently in the matrix form will be this. This C is actually the coefficient matrix. This is your overlap matrix. This F is actually that matrix which you call H. And epsilon is your actually the W matrix. What is the this thing of W? So this is your W11, W2, W3, WK. So WK is actually diagonal matrix. So WK is in this case. So this is called the generalized aggregation. I mean, you should not worry too much about that. So you understand the structure. W1 is your first root, approximation to energy. That will take the first. So what are the HS matrices? HS matrices are nothing. All square matrices, you can see that H11, H12 up to H1k, H21, H22 up to H2k, and then HK1, HK2 up to HKK. So the same is for the S matrix. So you now see that HC, H is that where you wrote FIH, FK. So these are the various matrix elements which you need to give as input. And then S matrix is also known to you. It's just like this, right? And then you put the coefficient, do the matrix multiplication, you will get the correct multiplication. So what is the C matrix? C matrix is this. S matrix will be like this, a square matrix, again C and epsilon, this diagonal matrix, right? So you can see that the first the molecular orbital energies are stored in this manner. And the coefficient for each molecular orbital is actually in the column of the coefficient matrix. So the first column is reserved for, so this is what is the ith molecular orbital. Remember that index. So that means for each I, you have a set of, this is for I is equal to 1, this is for I is equal to 2, this is for I is equal to 3. Remember, this is for I is equal to 4. So for each I, now you understand this equation. For each I, you solved to get 4 such coefficients. If I had 4 such numbers. So for I is equal to 1, I showed you how you got these 4 numbers, sorry, coefficients. For I is equal to 2, you got these. So if you do not solve after I is equal to 2, you get only 2 molecular orbitals, and you have no way to tell whether they are the lowest ones. Because unless you have all the molecular orbitals, you really do not know. But of course, you do not check the energy from the molecular orbitals, you check from the energies, okay? So this is my molecular orbital 1, this is my molecular orbital 2, this is my molecular orbital 3, this is my molecular orbital 4, right? And each of these, so each of these numbers that you have read lot of the times in chemistry, you know, this Huckel's theory or somewhere, you have said what is the pi contribution coming from this center, what is in the bond. You remember in the Huckel's method, you said that how much pi electron is cloud is in carbon 1, how much pi electron cloud is in carbon 2, that kind of stuff. So that will happen. You can see that. So this is the contribution of electrons from carbon 1 in the molecular orbital 1. This is for the contribution of carbon 2, means second carbon atom in the molecular orbital 1. This is from the third, this is from the fourth. These are not actually atoms, these are the various atomic orbitals are not just one atom. In one atom, you do not have just one atomic orbital. Remember, you have many atomic orbitals in a given atom. Suppose I have these 3 cyclopropene molecule, right? So I have so many atomic orbitals in this carbon, so many atomic orbitals in this carbon, so many atomic. So if I look 4 orbitals, so these may be all in the carbon 1. These may be all in the carbon 1, right? That is how it is. But so that is why you do not talk in terms of carbon. You say the contribution of these atomic orbitals in a part. So contribution of a given atomic orbital in a given molecular orbital. That's how I understand. Okay, is this clear? Is it clear to everybody? I hope you understood even though I did not mention too much about LCO, MO, but this is what is the essence of your linear combination of atomic orbitals, molecular orbital theory.
Sir, the contribution is in the column matrix.
Which contributes? The column matrix means, so these are the coefficients of the atomic orbitals.
So, as you said, the contribution of the carbon atoms, that is
okay.
Consider the column matrix.
Okay, what happens? Okay, let us see. If you have, say, suppose 4 carbon atom hai tumhara paas, cyclobutadiene you have in your mind. What happens in the Huckel's method? You do not have so many bases. You just take one function. Remember Huckel's method? Did you study? Who is asking this question? Adrija or some person?
No, no, sir. No, sir.
Huckel's method नहीं पढ़े तुम लोग?
No, sir.
You did not read Huckel's 4n+2 rule?
That one we just read for
Okay,
the
okay.
aromatic one.
So they are all. This is how Huckel actually got this. This is how you actually got this. It is unfortunate that you did not know this, but this is Huckel did not invent it from heaven. So he just did this. What he did is that he took one function on each carbon atom, right? Then he said that if I take just one function on each carbon atom, then you see that this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, these are that one atomic function on carbon atom 1, carbon atom 2, carbon atom 3, carbon atom 4. You can say this, right? So one molecular orbital is formed from the contribution of atomic orbitals on 4 carbon atoms, C1, C2, C3, C4. Is that clear, Rohan?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So if I have only this picture, then in this case, I can say that this coefficient square is actually representing, this coefficient square is the probability of what is the contribution of this carbon's pi electron in the molecular orbital 1. This contribution, this coefficients molecular, because why this coefficient? Because this is directly connected to your carbon 2, right? So that square will give you the contribution of the pi electron in the molecular from carbon atom 2 in the molecular orbital 1. This guy is going to give you the contribution of this atomic orbital, this carbon atom pi orbital in the molecular orbital 1. Similarly, you can do this for others. But the problem is that, so that is why Huckel's method is the 0th level of your semi-empirical calculations. Remember in the beginning? So Huckel succeeded remarkably, but this process is extremely trivial. It is not used anymore. So typically what happens is this. You have many more functions on this carbon, not just one, right? So if you do that, then you see that this little picture is not working anymore because 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the suppose 4 functions. These basis functions are on the carbon atom 1. Then you have the basis functions from carbon atom 2. Then you have the functions from carbon atom 3. This is how it is structured. So if you want to find out the contribution of all the pi electrons from all the basis functions in carbon atom 1 from your, in the molecular orbital 1, you have to sum all these basis functions coefficients properly. That means maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is with respect to, so there are 3 bases here, there are 3 spaces actually. Okay. So there are 3 spaces. One is your molecular space. That means the space of molecular orbitals. Okay. Another is that atomic orbital space. Right. That means what? So if a molecular orbital is k, you have k by k. Atomic orbital space means what? That means the number of atomic orbitals in a given molecular orbital. Right. But there is also another space which is called the atom space. What is the meaning of atom space? Atom space is actually much smaller space. You understand? Atom space is much smaller space because you may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means, 1, 2, 3, 4, say 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this little example, I have 4, so in this little example, let us understand these 3 spaces. How many molecular orbitals I have? Tell me, if I have 4 basis functions in each carbon atom, how many molecular orbitals I have? Adrija, how many molecular orbitals I have? Anybody? It's not 4. Just number.
4.
That is completely wrong. You have 16 molecular orbitals. You have 4 function over here, you have 4 function over here, you have 4 function here, 4 function. Each molecular orbital is a combination of 16 functions. Samjhe?
Okay.
right?
Okay,
Because you have 16 bases. So I have n is equal to 16. Okay. So now, how many atomic orbitals you have? How many atomic orbitals you have, Rohan?
C1, C2, C3, C4, 4 carbon atoms. So
You can
4
answer.
atomic
Why
orbitals.
cannot I have a straight answer for a straight question? You give these roundabout answers to politicians.
Sir, 4.
That is completely wrong. You have I just changed the question. People ask you how many molecular orbitals you can have for k atomic orbitals. You say that as many atomic orbitals I have, as many molecular orbitals, right? So if you have 16 molecular orbitals,
Yes,
you have 16 atomic orbitals. Otherwise, you cannot have it, right? You understand?
I got now. Yes, sir.
Very good. So now, but you tell me how many atoms you have?
4 atoms. C1,
4 atoms, right? So the answer you will get from this matrix is 16 by 16 in this particular case. But when you say that how many pi electron contribution is coming from this carbon atom or this carbon atom, right? In a given molecular orbital, you have to sum up these 4, right?
Okay.
Is that clear? Right? So if you sum up this 4, you will get one number. If you sum up this 4, you will get another number. If you sum up this 4, you will get another number. So that is how you will get the contribution of an atom in a given molecular orbital. It is easier to say contribution of a given atomic. So this is your atomic orbital 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is structure 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you will get 16 by 16. Is it clear? So you understood so in practice, what you have to learn how to go back and forth from these 3 places to places in terms of the matrices. So molecular orbital space to atomic orbital space, atomic orbital space to atom space. In practice, what happens is that you first go from the bottom to the top. So that is how the mathematics is done. But when you are asking chemistry questions, you have to come from the top to bottom because you want to understand everything in terms of the atom, right? So mathematically, you will go from the bottom to the top. But when you are asking for chemistry questions, you will come from the top to bottom because eventually you want everything in terms of the atom. Is it clear? सबको समझ आ गया? समझ आ गया?
Sir, still I have a doubt that we get a 16 by 16 matrix. That is fine. So each column will represent.
Yes.
Yeah. So each column will represent the one molecular orbital.
One molecular coefficients for one molecular orbital. That's right.
Yeah.
Very
but
good.
I did not understand, like you said, the first 4 atoms will come from one carbon atom.
Yes. Yes.
But I did not understand why it will be like.
Okay. So, okay, very good. That's a very good question. So tell me, 16 numbers, hai na, that you agree in this example?
Yeah.
There are 16 entries, right? There will be 16 entries here?
Yes.
For each of them, there will be 16 entries, right? Okay. So now I come to this one entry. What is this? This is a basis function in this molecule. The F1?
Yeah.
C1 is coefficients, right? They are sitting. So this basis function, this is the coefficient for basis function 1. Sorry, this is the coefficient in this, right? So this is the first coefficient of this F1, right? So this is the second coefficient. This is the third coefficient, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 16. Now let us see. Where are the 16 functions? The F1.
Oh, the 16 functions are the 16 atomic orbitals.
Of course, 16 functions are the 16 atomic orbitals. I have put them. So that is why they are also called atom-centered basis functions. You know, that means basis functions are always situated in some atom. ठीक है? So where are they? So this is, suppose I take this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the picture I have. You also have that same in mind. That is why you have come up with 16 numbers. So where are my 16 basis functions? I have said that 1, 2, 3, 4 functions are here. This is arbitrary, but I have distributed the 16 functions to 4 atoms. 4 atom hai in this example. So 4 functions here, 4 functions here, 4 functions here, 4 functions here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. तुम यहाँ पे किसको कौन सा कार्बन बोलोगे वो अलग बात है. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you said that okay, I'll call this. So this is my carbon atom 1. This is my carbon atom 2, right? So 5, 6, 7, 8 functions. They are in the carbon atom 2. Because they are the basis functions corresponding to this carbon atom.
Yes.
So that is how I just order 4 functions over here in the carbon 1. So 4 functions in the carbon 2. Then 9 to 12 functions in the carbon 3. And 13 to 16 functions in carbon 4. So that is how the 4 conditions are. It is up to you whichever way you order. But you have 16 functions on 4 carbon atoms. That's all it means. Which one is which one? That is your bookkeeping job. Computer will do it for you. You have to understand that.
Okay, sir, I understood. Yeah.
Very good. It is, so you understand that why it is important to ask questions. Okay, so is there anything? I wanted to do some tutorial today, but this little equation has taken all of our time. So I think I'll see you after the pizza break. Okay. So just one thing, about 19 to 26 is what is that called, break. So I'm not very sure when will be our next class, but we can communicate in the WhatsApp, right? If I come here, maybe that week we have to do little bit late or something like that. So is it okay that if we communicate, fix the class in the WhatsApp, right? Everybody has WhatsApp. Should be, is that all right? Yeah. Okay. So we'll fix the class in the WhatsApp. Okay. So till then I say bye-bye and you have a nice time in the pizza break. Okay. Okay. So I'll meet you after the. Okay. If you have any question, please feel free to write or call or whatever, that's fine. And I'll try to give one assignment before the vacation. Okay, but don't worry too much about the numbers and all this business. Just try to see if you can enjoy the class. That's the most important thing. Okay. I cannot move the mouse. Okay. सर प्लीज अपलोड द वीडियो. आज का वीडियो हुआ क्या नहीं मुझे मालूम नहीं.